Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about sliders for all Madden difficulty. In previous years, everyone would always default to all pro when it comes to playing Madden because the all Madden difficulty was just out of this world OP and it never made any sense. The gameplay was just so bad. But this year I feel like the gameplay is in a good state where it is reliable to play on All Madden. And not only is it reliable to play on the All Madden difficulty, but you can also use it at 15 minutes. And as you can see here, I have the accelerated clock on 20 down to 20 seconds. Now, let's get into the sliders for All Madden. I have QB accuracy on 20. Even with the best quarterbacks, you're going to be missing passes here and there, and you'll really feel this effect if your quarterback doesn't have really any good accuracy, especially short. You'll see this take effect with a lot of short and medium balls thrown. So I like this at 20. Pass blocking, we're going to keep this at 50 because the pass rush is already so OP in this game. I didn't want to touch it and bring it down a little bit more because then it would be too difficult to throw the ball or have enough time to look down the field and throw the ball. So we're going to keep that on 50. Receiver catching, we're going to knock that down to 43. I haven't noticed much of a difference yet with receivers dropping balls, so I'm probably going to bump that down to at least 49 or 47 and see how that works. Run blocking, I put that down at 40 because it is very easy to run the ball even with the most mediocre running back, and you can even put this down to 35 or 33 if you have a good offensive line. Fumbles, you want to move this up to 70. A lot of people over the years have been confused about how the fumble sliders work. So if the more you move it to the right, the less amount of fumbles that occur. The more you move it to the left, the most amount of fumbles will occur. So I moved this up to 70 even more this year because of the tackle battles that come into effect when you're getting tackled. So if you're trying to escape from a tackle with the tackle battle, you're most likely to fumble the ball. So I moved this up to 70, so you probably won't see your player fumble the ball that much when it comes to that sequence. Pass reaction time and pass coverage, I both put at 88. This mainly pertains to zone coverage because zone coverage has never really been that good in Madden. It's workable this year, but it seems like man is the way to go with this year, so I put this at 88 for both sides. Interceptions, I bumped this slider all the way down to 15 this year because interceptions are so overpowered. If you would have kept this slider at 50, your defense probably would have gotten 6 to 7 interceptions a game. It is that overpowered this year. So I bumped this all the way down to 15. And even at this lower setting here, you'll probably still see about 3 or 4. So you probably want to bump this down to maybe even 10 or 9. All right, tackling. I bumped this up to 58 because on All Madden, the CPU would break 3, 4, maybe even 5 tackles. I've probably even seen 6 in a row. So tackling is very, very broken on All Madden, so I bumped that up to 58. All right, CPU skill. I have the QB accuracy all the way down to 7. Now, let me explain. The QB passing in this game is so good, you have to bump this all the way down just to see the CPU miss throws. If you have this at least, I would say 10 or higher, you're going to see pretty much every quarterback hit every single receiver. So I have this all the way down to 7. Pass blocking, I have this down to 40. Even with this down to 40, I barely see my defensive line or linebackers get sacks. I'll probably end up with about 2 or 3 a game, so I think that's a good balance. Receiver catching, I have not seen many receivers drop the ball. Only time I see them drop any passes were if they were being double coverage in the animation and the defender knocks the ball out. Run blocking, I have this at 35. Even with this at 35, if you have a bad defensive line then it's still going to be easy for the CPU to run the ball. Fumbles, instead of having it at 70, I have it at 60 for the CPU because the CPU barely fumbles the ball. So I want to see more of that happen. So that's why I have this at 60. Pass reaction and pass coverage, I both have at 70, being that it's All-Madden, the coverage is already good, but I wanted to make it even more better for the challenge, but I didn't want to make it OP. Interceptions, so I have the CPU interceptions on 5 because they're just that overpowered, and you'll still see the CPU get interceptions with this on 5. Tackling for the CPU, I have it on 50. I don't break as many tackles as the CPU does, so I have this kept on 50 here. Field goal power, accuracy, I both have on 45. I want to see the CPU miss a lot more chip shot field goals and make it more realistic. Also, I'll probably turn it down even more because I want it to be more difficult for me also. Punt power, accuracy, and kickoff power, I all have at 47. Don't really notice a difference, but you probably won't see too many touchbacks with this kick power here. You can even turn this down more, it's up to you. Injuries, I have on 15. In Madden, you see a lot of injuries in the game, so if you don't turn this slider down, half of your players will be injured by probably halftime. Fatigue, I have at 53. Fatigue is very weird in Madden because if your player gets tired, let's say in the first or second quarter, it's likely you won't see him for the rest of the game. And it's very, very weird. So I only have it at 53 here. Minimum player speed threshold, I have at 20. So how this works is the more you go to the left, the more difference in player speed you see on the field. If, let's say, Tyreek Hill is running down the field and a defensive lineman is chasing him, you'll notice how much of a difference Hill is faster than the defensive lineman. I have not touched the penalties here. I don't know if I'll mess up anything in the gameplay if I touch these, so I kept these, I left these alone for now. I know in the past, if you mess with some of the penalty sliders, it can mess up the gameplay and animations in the game, and it can make it feel a little bit weird, so I didn't touch it for now, but I might touch it in the future and see how that works out. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Try these sliders out, tell me what you think, put it on All-Madden, 15 minutes, and give it a try. I've tried about 5 or 6 games with these sliders and I like the outcome that I'm getting. I'm not getting blowout games. I'm getting very, very close competitive games, and that's what I want in Madden. I want good competitive games. I don't want weird things happening in my gameplay, and with these settings here, that's what I'm getting. So try them out, let me know what you think, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Have a good day.